Hi everyone, and welcome to the next episode of Like, Share, Follow. This week I have the amazing Kyra Khaleeda Abdul Khalil, direct from Malaysia, and Kyra is a marketing executive at PrimeKeeper Financial Services. So welcome, Kyra.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Now tell me, look, the last time I saw you at USC, we were just discussing, it was about 2 years ago, wasn't it? And so tell me, what have you been doing since then?
So, like you mentioned, with the last we saw each other was 2 years ago since I graduated, and I could say that everything has been up and at it for me. So I've been doing some freelance, some contract work, some part-time work here and there, and now I'm a full-time worker in the financial service industry.
That's great. And so tell me, the work that you were doing when you were freelancing and interning, what sort of field, what sort of things were you doing? What were you focusing on?
They were all from different industries, definitely. So to start off, my first intern work right after graduation was in PR intern over at Kuala Lumpur Fashion Week for
Oh,
about
great.
a month and a half. So my main task for that was to call up medias, make sure they get the invitations, send out the statements and everything, and then when it's event day, I'm handling the front house and inside the hall, so make sure
Yeah.
the guests are getting their seats right. And after that was over, I was freelancing under a recruiting company called Troopers Malaysia. I freelanced for a food company called Dah Makan. So
Yeah.
direct English translation, Dah Makan means have you eaten? So over here it's like a
I
conversation.
like that. Have you eaten?
A conversation starter over here. So you can look to the person on your right in the office and be like, Dah makan? Have you eaten? And it's an easy conversation starter. Yeah, and through that, so
And so what were you doing there?
yes. So at Dah Makan, I was just literally selling food at a petrol station. So Dah
Okay.
Makan is it's a very well-known food company here. So
Yeah.
they have chefs from five-star hotels who cook the food, and it's all healthy,
Yeah,
so
wow.
so they usually sell it at a certain price, but over at the petrol station, they had an offer. So 10 ringgit per meal, and it's a
Yeah.
full meal. And
Yeah.
that sold out really quickly.
Yeah.
I'm guessing my marketing skills was picked up from there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and so we basically literally just selling food to people, and my approach
Yeah.
was dah makan,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah. And then you were saying like that you hadn't like you actually met like someone came and bought food from you, but you knew them, they were a family friend, and then it was like through your networks that
yeah,
actually led you to where you are now.
that's right. So I was just casually selling food, and I met a family friend, and she's like, "How are you? Quick catch up and that and everything." And she asked what's going on with me, what am I doing now? And from there, since she was, if I'm not mistaken, a director in FinTech Association of Malaysia, and she decided to offer me, like, here's my card. If you ever, have a change of mind, do send in your resume. We are looking for an admin and content creator over at the company, and that's
Fantastic.
yeah, and that's what I did. So once
And
my
so and so with it being you were a content creator, so tell me more about that. Like what sort of stuff were you creating?
So basically, just the main social media page in FinTech Association was Facebook. So
Yeah.
that's what I did.
Yeah.
And it was literally coming up with contents of like articles or infographics for FinTech Association Malaysia's Facebook page.
Yeah.
And I could say I was struggling a lot because I had no idea what the industry was about. I've never heard about fintech too. She offered me the job. So
Yeah.
definitely a challenging time.
Yeah.
And I was a contract based. So it was like around 6 months. And then
Mm-hmm.
once that was over, I was offered a job here in PrimeKeeper Malaysia. So one of the CEOs, sorry, my bad. The CEO of PrimeKeeper Malaysia was a part of FinTech Association. His title in there was a secretary, and since I was alone in the office, in another office, and he told me to come over to his office.
Yeah.
So at least I have friends. And once my contract was coming to an end, he's like, "Hey, what are your skills? What do you do? What have you done? What did you learn in uni?" And I told him all about my path. And he
Yeah.
said, why don't you, he didn't ask, he didn't say, but he basically asked me, would you like, a job here as a marketing executive? And we would be more than happy to help you with your career path.
Fantastic. And so you're saying that a lot of your role now is social media focused, and
Right.
you're saying that you actually think that's your calling. So I can really relate to that. So tell me, like, what sort of social media stuff you're doing now?
So again, for this company, it's a fintech startup. So our current and only social media page is Facebook. So that's where most of our audience are. And
Okay.
we're coming up with a lot of Facebook content, and it has it's been up and down because sometimes coming out with Facebook content isn't always like the step of the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
You feel like you're going at war sometimes. I'm sure you can relate, Karen.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess too, because I mean, like you want to create engaging stuff, but it's quite a serious topic as well, and there would be a lot of regulations that you need to adhere to because it is the financial services industry.
Yes.
So, how have you been navigating all of that?
So basically, what I do at least a month. So let's say we're going into August. So a month before August, I come up with a calendar and put in a bunch of ideas there with specific dates that we're posting. Propose the ideas to my bosses and the product team, see what they like, and from there create captions, clean it up a little, and post. And we have a wonderful design team to create wonderful, wonderful visuals for us.
Oh,
So
fantastic! So that's good. So at least you have a design team.
yeah,
That's awesome.
right, right. So that's
Yeah,
what makes it interesting and
that's great. And so tell me, like, we'll move on with some of the questions. So, what have been some of the best advice you've been given throughout your career?
Oh, this is a very good question because it wasn't like a sit down and they tell me an advice. It was,
No.
it's not like that. So it has been actually since before I started working. It's been like since high school. And people always tell me that they compliment me about my personality and they say, oh, you should go into PR, you should go into marketing. And I didn't understand what it meant then.
Yeah.
So as time passes by, they're like, you should, with your personality, you can go into PR and marketing. And I was like, oh, okay. So what I, put it all together and realized is, to recognize my passion and interest, and
Yeah.
then always stay grounded and be myself. Because being myself is, I guess, being myself is how I got to where I am today. That's it.
Yeah.
Mm.
And so what do you think set you apart from other sort of graduates? I mean, the CEO clearly was very happy with your work. So what do you think it was about what you were doing that made him notice you?
Interesting because um, I didn't see it as like a competition or was seeing myself as somebody different because I feel like everyone is just doing their own thing and having different ideas and perspectives. So seeing other people with of different different job titles in different industries was that really I guess gave me an idea or motivated me, to actually just try out anything and everything. So at the end of the day, I realized that everyone's doing their own thing. We're all trying to get somewhere. We're putting our name out there, and we should always celebrate each other with what we're doing.
Yeah, no, that's good. And so what do you think, what are some of the things you learned at university that have really helped you in your career?
So many things. But I think just to narrow it down, it wasn't like a specific lesson or topic. It was more of to stay focused. And what
Yeah.
I learned a lot from different classes of different topics is that to think out of the box, a lot of critical thinking. So basically, just by sitting in some of your classes, in the other tutors' classes of different subjects, it required me to really think outside of the box because I always think like lecturers and tutors, they always have to come up with different ideas of what to say to different group of kids who are of different personalities and have different um, thinking, ways of thinking. So each discussion is always so different. So shifting perspective
Yeah.
has helped me a lot during university, and of course critical thinking and think outside of the box. Just be open minded and accept everything with an open heart. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what are some of the things you wish you'd learned at university that you've needed since you've been out that you wish we would include?
Oh my goodness, recently I had a tough time with analytics, learning about analytics. So I wish
We have a course for that now.
only I could, just catch a plane to uni just to learn about that course. Yeah, analytics. But what we have, obviously, we can't, go to a class and just sit there. We can, but it'll take too much of the time. So what we've been doing over here is that we've been Googling free courses online. So
Yeah.
we found a Google Analytics course. So there's like a beginners and advanced and a few other ones.
Yeah.
And that has helped us. So it's not just me learning it. So it's a team of us. We're sitting
Yeah.
down learning it. And at the end of the day, if you complete a course, you get a certificate, and it's something that you can put it
Yeah.
yeah, and it's been really, really helpful. So definitely analytics. I wish it was introduced then.
Yeah, no, because we have that now as part of the social media minor and the major and degree program. So yeah. And have you thought of there's free courses you can do from Facebook in Facebook Blueprint? Have you been into that?
I saw that, but I didn't get around to it yet because we're mostly focusing on the Google
Good
and
stuff. Yeah. So if you need help with insights and Instagram and Facebook insights, Facebook Blueprint's really good.
Yes,
So-
yes. Oh, like a glance of it. It
Yeah.
was really informative. Yeah.
And it's free, so that's good too.
That's the
Um, And so tell me, in the last couple of weeks, what's been one of the best pieces or new tools or best pieces of information relating to social media that you've discovered?
related to social media. So, social media is, you can post it, I guess, depending on the industry, you can post about anything, or if you're not working, you can obviously still post about anything and share so many things. And I've, I think ever since the MCO and, the pandemic, the whole situation going on, I've noticed how the convenience, just simple Google, what's going on in the world right now, or what's going on in Malaysia specifically, is the convenience of cashless payment, mobile transactions, online payment. So that's what I've learned a lot. And so from that, it gave me an idea of creating a series on PrimeKeeper's Facebook page. So we have a series called Banknote series, as well as Coin series, and another series called the Payment series.
Yeah.
So the Banknote and Coin series talks about the history and the design and the story behind Malaysian banknotes and coins. So also doing that has been an eye-opening, I didn't know there could be so much things just behind a 1 ringgit or a 100 ringgit banknote. And then
Wow.
yeah, and the coins, some of the coins, if you tilt it a bit, there's like a hidden design behind it. I was like, oh, I didn't do that. So many things.
Wow, no, you'll be a currency expert now, as well as a marketing expert.
Yeah. Moving on to the payment series. So the payment series talks about the evolution and history of payment from how it was then to how it is now. So the transition I've learned from online and everywhere else, how we have transitioned so much from using small valuables. Last time was rocks or gold or even salt was used as a form of payment, and now we have mobile phones and so that has been really interesting. I've learned so much.
Yeah, no, that sounds really interesting. And so moving on, so now that you've been out of university for a couple of years and you've got a great career, what advice would you give to emerging social media professionals or current social media students about how they can succeed in their careers?
I think before this we had a conversation, and I think to look at things without prejudice, that has also one of the things that I learned throughout university as well, to just really have an open mind. And I think as a content curator, for the both of us, we can't limit our imaginations. Doesn't matter which industry you're in, because if you have reference or have ideas from different industries, that will help. And when you look at, let's say I'm in the fintech industry, but I love fashion, so I look a lot on my social media page, my followings. I follow a lot of fashion or just people creating their own business, and I try to implement that on how I can put it in my social media posting.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so basically, advice that I would like to pass down from what people have told me is to stay grounded, be true to yourself, and find your interest and passion. Because sometimes you can feel like you don't know where you're gonna go or what your career is gonna be, what your future is gonna be, and that is totally fine. I learned it the hard way, and I think and it's totally normal as well. Besides,
Yeah.
the pressure from society,
Yeah.
especially social media. You're right, Karen, correct? So one day you'll be able to figure it out by having different experiences. So go out and just try everything and anything, and once you find your calling, grab it.
Oh,
That's
that's great advice.
yeah, thank
Excellent.
you.
And now the most important question of this whole show
Of
is,
course.
who do you like, share, and follow?
Who do I like, share, and follow? Okay, so like I said earlier, to look at things without prejudice and be open-minded. There's no one in particular. I just follow what makes me happy and keeps me motivated. But if I were to name someone, it would definitely be a Malaysian entrepreneur, some occasionally host and TV actress. Her name is Nilofa. I'm not sure if many people on the coast know about her, but
No, but can you when this is on Facebook and on LinkedIn, can you post a link to her
oh
so
yeah,
we can follow her?
yeah, definitely. So she's a great businesswoman. Her family is all very business oriented and they're all very successful. And so just by looking at her and or hearing of her name, I'm like, oh, her. I want to be like her one day, to be super creative. And that's what keeps me motivated. And
Yeah,
following, because I had, and everything's MCO. Sorry, yeah. So MCO and pandemic, everyone's on lockdown. So
yeah.
everyone's trying to find their ways of how to make use of their time and make their own side money here and there. So I have a few friends who start their own business selling clothes or making some hair comb, ashtrays, or like little lipstick holders. So that's what keeps me motivated. They just and they're so creative and everyone is so creative. And I also noticed that following big or small accounts, regardless of follower counts, it's what keeps me motivated and inspired every single day, especially when creating social media content. So yeah, that is who or whatever I
Yeah.
share and follow.
Excellent. Thank you. And so, do you have any final words for people watching?
Final words. But first of all, before we leave or end the session, I would like to thank Karen for actually approaching me for this. I was so shocked. I was like,
Oh, really? No, you're a great candidate to be on the show.
Karen wants me on her show. So I had to obviously, prepare myself. And I guess to have a reminder for everyone is to just be yourself, stay grounded, and you'll eventually find your answer of where you want to go. And of course, the pandemic is still going on. I would like to remind everyone to always stay safe, social distance, and wear your mask. That's very important.
Great advice. Great advice. Well, thank you so much, Kyra. And so next week on Like, Share, Follow, we have Kiani Milsom, who is the marketing coordinator at White House Celebrations. So thank you again, Kyra, and I'll see everyone next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.
Bye.
Bye.